5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. We are officially live. Thank you very much for doing this, Anand. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, likewise, Ishan. I'm
Cool.
excited to actually, be a part of this thing.
Mm-hmm. That seems awesome. So like even you're working from home right now. Like you're not going to your office and all.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it.
No. I'm actually working from home. Pakka work from
Wow.
home environment right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Yeah, well, I'm starting from home in college. I mean, my entire first year is going to be online. I don't think we're going to have an online college, an offline exam this semester.
hmm
I really think it will be online, and I'm also hoping because they're teaching us everything online, and we're going to give our papers offline.
Yeah. Seriously, I feel very bad for you guys. Actually, being, frankly speaking, because you guys seriously need to spend a lot of time in the campus. You guys are, really missing out the, very fun part of being a college student, right? So especially this
Yeah.
Corona thing, totally changed how we work, how we live, and how we even study, right? So
Mhm.
that's some that's very serious thing if you ponder about it, if you think about it. But still,
Right.
the show must go on, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, you told me that you're in malware analysis, correct?
I'm not totally into malware analysis, but I'm interested in malware analysis. The main reason is that to get the TTPs actually, TTP in the sense tactics, techniques, and procedures. So these are actually the
Right.
technical details that we get out of the malware. So we copy or mimic those TTPs that we able to obtain from malware pieces so that we can implement that in a real world red team engagement or pen testing scenario. So this is how the threat intel is actually helping or boosting the offensive security. So yeah, in that way or in that sense I can say I am into malware analysis, and uh, my focus area is actually pen testing.
Hmm. Right. So how long have you been doing this, man? Like, could you tell us a little bit more about your journey?
Yeah, it's been like it's a very long journey that I took, and still I am in that journey, right? So I think it's a near, it's not ending any soon. So
Hmm.
I actually started liking, I came to know about this field after my 10th grade, around 2010 or something. Okay. So
Uh-huh.
after the 10th grade, I started loving. I actually happened to read one article, InfoSec article explaining about uh, vulnerabilities and how hackers actually exploit those vulnerabilities, right? So at that time, I had no idea. I had no clue. I was actually totally clueless about any jargon. I had no idea what a
Hmm.
vulnerability was or what a even software vulnerability, logical vulnerability, all those things, right? So I had no idea. I had no idea uh, how it is working or how it is posing a major security threat. So at that time I started working out towards that end goal, just to try to understand all the jargons. uh, so I started digging deeper into this vulnerability. So
Hmm.
I came to know about how the software all the software code, they are written by people, right? So
Right.
they have this uh, error, or we can call it a bugs, right? So there is another piece of code that can exploit, make use of, abuse those bugs to get access or to get something out of the system, right? So we call it exploit code, right? So that was actually my, I can say that's how I actually get started. Then there was no looking back. I went on to take CS, engineering in CS. Then after that, my first gig I landed in a job, a cybersec job. Right, what I'm doing right now at Cloudsec. So right now I
Hmm.
am actually a cyber threat analyst at Cloudsec. So we are actually a company, a product company. We are a product company. The our product is actually Xvigil. So it will monitor all the assets, artifacts of our clients. It monitors all the dark web, dark web and all those deep web
Dark web
stuff, right?
activity.
Exactly. So we monitor all those kind of stuff and we will report back to our clients. So that's actually what the product does. So our team, it's our security team. We have a security team. So I'm actually a member of security team. We do other services as well, to meet the client's demands. Actually, like just like I said, there will be like infrastructure securing, analysis stuff, and those kind of stuff. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you're more
So
interested in the network architecture. That's what you're trying to say.
Not exactly, Ishan. Yeah, it has network in it, but in a holistic point of view, I can say the entirety of the cybersec. You can say application, you can say network. Network is just a piece of, just a piece, right? So application, there is application, there is network. Yeah, the entirety. I'm actually focusing on application security as well as the network security.
Mm-hmm. That's like a lot of things. It's like I
Yeah,
was going
exactly.
through your LinkedIn profile the other day. I mean, you talk a lot about all these platforms like Try Hack Me and all. Like I think I recall seeing something about Try Hack Me on your profile. What are your thoughts on Try Hack Me?
Ishan, that's one of the best things happened, in the cybersec world because it's affordable. First of all, it's affordable. It has actually blue team as well as the red team. Okay, so okay, before getting into that, I will just give you a heads up. Like most of the people, when it comes to cybersecurity, most of the people are actually focused to one section, one specific section. I don't know what the psychology of those guys are actually. I think it's mainly media driven. So almost if you ask, nobody wants to you know kickstart their career in blue team. Everybody
Hmm.
just jump starts, or they want to be part of a red team. I want to hack that, I want to hack this. I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. This is like, if you are interested in that, then it's very good thing, but you need to know the blue team as well, right? If you don't know the theory of some system, what is hacking? Actually, hacking is, it's literally, it means the hacker will be, uh, he is a person who knows A to Z of that system in entirely, right? So
Right,
he will be knowing everything, each and every bit of that system. So without knowing that, without having that kind of knowledge, no one can become a hacker. So you need to know how the blue team is working, how the blue stuffs work, and then you need to switch to red team. That will be more effective. So coming back to tryhack me is, I think, the only platform I can say, where we can find that balance, right balance, right? So we can
hmm.
find the blue team stuff as well as addition to the red team stuff. So if you want to learn about Wireshark or autopsy,
Hmm.
digital forensic stuff, you can directly go to TryHackMe and you can start, get into a room, right?
Right.
So I think TryHackMe is the best thing that ever happened in to the cybersec world.
Do you kind of feel jealous? Like, was it there when you started out? So do you kind of feel jealous about the resources that we all have these days compared to you when you started?
No, no, no. It's not about being. It's not jealousy. I can say now it's very easy to get information. If you
Hmm.
have if you have internet connection, then it's boom. You have everything, right?
Right.
But back in my days, actually, I needed to go through textbooks. Don't see me as some primitive, creature, who's coming from way old back era, right? So, in 2010 or
We
something,
don't.
I
We
think,
don't.
yeah. So in 2010 or something, there were less resources. So I always find, if something challenges me, then it's more fun to do, right? So right now it's very easy to find information. Back then it was not as easy as it is now, actually, right?
Right.
So it's not jealousy, it's kind of amusing. The word will be amusing. I'm more amused to such such platforms or such resources. Anyway, it is good, doing good, right? So the young
It is
people,
doing
they are
good.
actually, yeah, it's definitely doing good, because young people, they have, they don't want to wander, or get lost in the world of internet to go and
Hmm.
uh, search for a specific concept or something to get the idea, right? They can directly go to try hack me, or start learning a lot of things. So
Hmm.
it's a blessing, Aishan. That I would say, it's a blessing.
Right, man. I mean, I've been seeing that. So like for now, I think I'm studying more on the theory part because like I want to focus more on my network plus exam more than getting into the practical and actually applying stuff yet, because like I like gathering knowledge and then doing something with it. Like I don't want to just get in there without knowing what I'm doing.
Exactly. That's actually the right attitude. If you don't know about TCP, how are you going to explain the Nmap? Just tell me.
Hmm. You won't be able
Okay.
to.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. If you don't know the flagging systems of TCP, just say you. I hope you have played with Nmap, right? So the Nmap has various flag setting options. So if you don't
hmm,
know what those flags are, if then that means you don't know the TCP, right? So the
right.
backbone concept and all those things. You are definitely correct. You're right.
Hmm. Right. So if I mean, I've also seen like I also read about I've read a few of your articles on your blog, um, offensive craft, right? So
Exactly.
when did you start it?
Mm, it's I think a few months back, like last 2020 or something, in the beginning of 2020. I cannot exactly recall when I created that blog, but I think especially when I was totally into hack the box and try hack me, I thought, why not share those methodologies I used to actually capture the flag? Why not, especially if you are someone who is working in security domain,
Hmm.
a lot of people expect you to, have a blog. I can tell you frankly, that's actually the main reason what, driven me to, to that, uh, to that place actually. So,
Hmm.
and I like writing. So I like to express myself through words. So that was actually the main reason why I, came up with that blog. And as usual, it's a human nature, right? If you will initially you will have that fire, and after a few months, because of so many reasons, it can be like work, it can be family. You won't be able to continue with what you have started, right? So
Right.
same thing happened to me. If you can clearly look at the blog post, it's been like it's not been updated at all. So yeah, so I think it's been like in the beginning of 2020 or something. I started publishing the blogs.
Hmm. So how do you feel about writing blogs? Like, do you do it because you like it, or you like what part of blogging on cybersecurity do you like the most?
I hate CTF kind of blog. Speaking frankly, I have done exactly the same. So I hate that kind of blogs. I love research oriented blogs. If
Hmm.
for example I can say, if I am working on a concept, for example a security concept, okay,
Okay.
which is actually targeting a Windows system. Hmm? So let's say there is a antivirus evasion technique I am working on right now. Okay, let's imagine. Let's assume. So I have results with me. So I need to publish those results, and so that other security researchers like me can come and have a take a look at that article, right? So
Right.
for that purpose, I will definitely I love posting such articles on my blog. So I always value those articles. You can see a hell lot of there are a lot of good folks, actually brilliant people in this community, who are actually active in publishing a lot of good blogs, posts, actually blog posts. So security is actually driven by these blogs, Ishan. That's what my take is actually.
Hmm. So like when you say security is driven by blogs, how do you feel about writing your blogs? Like, do you write about your own experiences, or you just write on something you just learned? Like, what are your blogs like?
Exactly. Something just I learned, or something just I broke some. If I, if I'm able to break something, then I will, uh, I will write something about that thing. My
Hmm.
finding. It's all about finding, Ishan. If you are working as a red team in the sense, if you are in the offensive side of the things, then definitely you need to play around with lots so many things, right?
Right.
Application, you need to poke vulnerabilities and you need to record those observations, and you can push this observation as blog article.
So like blogging really has a huge potential for anybody, even like somebody who's just starting out. Like an idea just came to my mind is that even if you're on a simple Windows or a Mac computer, you can like build a virtual machine. I don't know, put a small virus in it, and like I don't know, like break it up, and then figure out how you could have stopped that, and then write about it. What do you think about that?
Exactly. You don't have to, by the way, you don't have to own a Mac to do that. You can simply use a Linux system or a Windows
A
box
virtual
to do
machine.
that, right?
I would
Yeah,
do it on a
exactly.
virtual machine. That's much better.
Exactly. Yeah. Definitely, that would that's that's so much fun.
Hmm.
Yeah, I am not saying you need to be a pro to start writing, right? So you can blog about anything. If you are interested in security, you can. Okay, I will give an example. You are into network, right? So you are already preparing for your network K plus, right?
Right.
Yeah. So one day you know you have gone through the entire material, and now you have solid crystal clear idea of what TCP is, right?
Right.
You can write up 2 or 3 para, on TCP.
Correct. That's correct.
This will reinforce the concept. Okay, our brain is wired, right? So this is our brains are wired in unusual ways. So this
Hmm.
repetition things and this, if you try to understand something out of a textbook, and if you try to explain that same concept using your words, it will reinforce the same knowledge within your brain. So that will eventually help you in understanding so many greater things in a greater way.
Hmm. So the retention, it really helps you in retention. And I think it's
Exactly.
so it'll help you as an individual, and you could also help certain people who wouldn't have known it otherwise in your language.
Exactly, Vishan. Yeah.
Hmm. Right. So I think like in a few months, I think even I could start writing about stuff.
No. You can, if you want to write, then from tomorrow on you can start writing, right? So you don't
Hmm.
have to wait for a month. I hope you get me right. So the thing is, if you know about something, just start explaining. Okay, if you know something, if you know about some, if you know theory on TCP, or if you know theory on switches, how switches work, or OSI layer, OSI layer is very important. Nowadays, a lot of people actually, even in the security circle, they don't know. Even the gatekeeper certification holders, they don't know what exactly OSI means actually when it comes to hardware,
Hmm.
right? So if you know those concepts, you can right now it's not a difficult task to come up with your own blog, right? You have git book, you can use GitHub to host your blog. You can, you have WordPress, whatever. We have lots,
Right.
so many sources to use, right, at our disposal. So if you have something to say out to the world, then start writing from tomorrow onwards. That's my thing.
Hmm. How strong is your grip on OSI right now?
OSI, I think fairly good. Don't
So
ask me questions, Vijay.
no, no, no. Like, do you know enough so you could like explain to our audience in like 5 minutes or 10 minutes? Like, give them a brief on what OSI is, because I don't think a lot of people know about it yet. Because it's not SEO ranked yet enough for people to know exactly what we're talking about.
Exactly. Okay. I will just, come up with an analogy rather than going deeper into the OSI concept. It's like the construction of a language. So the language, in the sense, the words coming out of my mouth, when it reaches your ear and your
Hmm.
brain start processing those words, right? Then it will make sense. So this is called communication, right? So this is
Right.
exactly what communication does, right? So this this is a concept actually. In network, it's all about communication. If a system A needs to contact or communicate to system B, then it needs to send a certain messages, right? So these messages we call packets and blah blah blah, electronic bits and those kind of stuff. So all these mechanisms are actually, compliant to a set of rules, right? So
Right.
these rules are called protocols. So these protocols are again, differentiated based on its functionalities, right? So
Hmm.
this entire journey, this entire, uh, you know, uh, this entire communication channel or mechanism is actually based on this protocol communication. So this protocol communication can be again separated based on, just like I said, its functionality, how it
Hmm.
is, sending, in what context it is sending, or to whom it is sending, or in what format it is sending, like is it electrical, is it optical, all those kind of thing, it's defined by the OSI. Okay, it's the actual, the root concept of OSI. Given OSI is not a implementation thing, it's theoretical, it's not a framework per se.
Hmm.
OSI is just a theoretical, it has its limitations. That's why, we later adopted IPv4, sorry, IP, TCP IP stack, right? So I'm not
Correct.
going deeper into the thing. So OSI is just, think of it as a uh, way, a methodological way how to send out packets so that communication can take place. You need to know, and OSI has different layer, just like I said. So these layers actually govern how and what of all the communication. Okay, how and
Okay.
what is actually transferred. So this is in a
How and
nutshell.
what is
I think,
transferred?
yeah, how and what is transferred actually. This entire story is, uh, told by OSI. That's all.
Hmm. Think that should clear a lot of things for the audience. And I just hope that they actually start googling the correct things instead of just going around. See, because like this is what's happening on the internet right now. Today, you just type the word cybersecurity, and what you see like as a result is like, oh, how to get started in cybersecurity. Oh, become an ethical hacker. There's huge scope in that. Or become a chief security officer. I mean, like, it's like, you're a college student who's going to apply for general manager in a company in after your college, when you say you want to become like a chief security officer, something like that, right?
Exactly. That's actually, uh, actually, yeah, that's actually a little bit of a stretch, exactly, Ishan, right? Leave the chief thing, it's a C-level executive thing, right? So you will have at least
Hmm.
20-25 years of experience in IT sec, to become, and along with, in supplement, with supplementary certifications like CISM, CISSP, and those kind of things. So this is really out entirely, out of the what out
Out
of
of
the technical thing,
yeah, it's entirely out of
technical
the
thing.
right.
Yeah, it's entirely out of the technical realm or technical domain. So they are actually sitting at the managerial level. So what we guys are doing is technical stuff. Okay. So the thing is, nowadays, that's it will again go back to, the first thing that I said, when we are actually starting out the session, right? It's actually media driven, and we can see a lot of people coming to bug bounty, because it's, you can see if your connections are actually from cybersecurity world, most of the people, they brag about, the amount of money they earn from bounty, right? So
Right.
when a layman comes to this, when I encounter such things, then suddenly they will start thinking, okay, if I start working in this specific domain or start bug bounty, I can easily earn like thousands, 2,000, or like millions of bucks. So there is
Millions of
good and
bucks.
bad. Exactly, dude. Hacker, Hacker One, right?
Hmm.
So Hacker One's top 5 players, they earn millions. Or top two, if you pick top two, they earn millions. So those people are at another level. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. So my point is, it's not a. I'm not, saying it's something bad. People need to come to cybersecurity, but people have, they have a false sense of awareness. That is what I can say. False sense of awareness. That means they don't know how many hours they put. These people, bug bounty hunters, put to find a simple bug. They are
Hmm.
only seeing the results. They are not seeing the other side of the thing. The number of hours they need to, sit in front of the system and be a keyboard warrior. Now,
Right.
the number of duplicates they get, number of, it's entirely out of the, this reality. The people just see, okay, I can make 2k 3k USD clean from, bug bounty. That's not the case. Definitely there are smart people. There are, bug bounty is never an easy option. It's not an easy way. If you start,
Hmm.
if you start hunting for bug, then you will get that, you will come to know it's not a very easy, a walk in the park kind of thing.
It's not easy.
it's
It's
ve-
very tough.
it's not at all easy. It's very tough, time consuming, and you need to have a lot of patience. And I really admire all the bug bounty people. It's actually, again, I will say, you need to have a passion for cybersecurity. Otherwise you won't be able to survive in this field, just like any other IT field, because the
Hmm.
technology is, rapidly changing. What are we actually trying to do? We are actually trying to find out the bugs, right? These bug bounty people. So if the technology is changing, the programming language is changing, or the framework they are using is changing, actually are changing. That means the people who are actually bug bounty hunters, they need to, seriously keep up with the pace of the industry. So it's not a very easy task. I actually completely respect and admire those people.
Hmm. Do you think one of those people should, like, I don't know, start a vlog or something which they can actually show people how much work is actually being put into bug bounty hunting?
It's totally personal choice, Ishan. I can speak for myself only, right? So I think I'm not totally into bug bounty as of now, because I have more other priorities. Like, I'm more into system security, for example, operating systems and networks, actually.
Hmm.
So I actually, the same thing actually, there is no difference in, if you are auditing a web application or if you are auditing a system application, there is no difference at all. But there are very, slightly less number of people, or at least people are aware of, about the people, who actually does this kind of job, like, red teaming and those kind of stuff. Because you mostly, we won't be, exposing such findings to the world unless, stated otherwise. So that's the main issue. So for me, I think blog or, video thing is, just a personal choice.
Hmm. I just think that if somebody really likes it, I really think they should do it, because it will give anybody who is trying to be a bug bounter an exact idea of what it's going to look like when they're going through it. I mean, people don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Like, I mean, I see a lot of people on LinkedIn just posting screenshots of emails showing them that, hey, we've made this much money today with this bug. I feel so, I don't know, grateful or thankful that I made this money. And then there are people in the comments who are also congratulating them. I mean, but I think I would really love to see somebody, start a vlog on this and literally showing the entire behind the scenes around it. I would love to see that.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. So you cannot, it will take it will go for hours and hours, Isha.
Hmm.
It will, sometimes it will start in the morning, or eventually, end up in the midnight or something. So
Right.
I don't know how practical that would be like. But the thing is, there are definitely good people you can follow on or subscribe to on YouTube, Twitter. You can follow people on Twitter. You can subscribe to a lot of smart people, really smart folks on YouTube. And yeah, these are actually like two major sources of in order to find those content. Actually, it's not about what is happening behind the scene. It's about what they are actually doing. So if you know the concept, you will be doing exactly the same thing, right? So it's all about you need to get your basics done right. You need to know the how the system works. You need to, if you, again, if you come to web application security, then uh, OWASP top 10, it's actually the holy grail, right?
Right.
So you need to understand what OWASP top 10 is. So you need to have a technical knowledge. Then some people have their own picks. They will be more interested towards RCE, like remote code executions or injection kind of vulnerabilities. Few people will be like more interested in uh, XML entity injection for say. So they will have their own picks and they will work towards achieving those goals. So for me, you need to understand you can follow millions of people and finally you won't achieve anything. You need to start doing. You need to start. It's not about just following the social media hype. You need to start working out all by yourself to understand what is going on. You need to have a technical background. For that, you don't need, technically you don't need, you have to have a technical degree at all. Anybody can become uh, good at anything if they set their mind right. So that's my philosophy.
Hmm. I mean, I totally agree with you, man. I I really agree with you on, like, I mean, if you don't like what you're doing, if you have no interest, I mean, eventually it will show in your results, right? You can
Exactly.
try your best, but if you don't like it, it will show.
Exactly. The thing is, Shushan, you cannot force something, or someone to do something. It should come from within ourselves, right? So
Right.
especially it will, you're a student, right now. So especially when you come to industry, after you take your first job, if you are not interested in what you are going to do, then it will directly reflect that uh, thing in your result, in your output.
Hmm.
So if you don't have that passion or love for what you are doing, it will definitely reflect in your outcome. So those are the kind of people uh, regularly get yelled at by their managers you know for not doing their task and those kind of stuff. But again, I'm just kidding, okay, those folks who are listening to or saying this thing, I'm just kidding. um, I'm just saying, yeah, you need to have that dedication and passion. So if you are, if this is not your cup of tea, then you need to change it. If this is not, sometimes you will feel, I don't believe in never quit attitude. If you don't like doing something, then you need to quit doing that thing and just follow your passion.
Hmm. Right. Thank you for those words, man. I really think some people need it, especially in these
Definitely,
times. Yeah.
definitely.
Right. Okay. Now let's talk about something different. Let's talk about red team versus blue team. I want to know what's your take on this, because you see what's going on again. Like I said before, everybody wants to become an ethical hacker. Everybody wants to get into penetration testing, bug bounties, etc. Like there's so much red team, red team, red team. I mean, I don't really, when I type blue team, I don't get a lot of information on exactly understanding who they are and what they do compared to red team. I mean, red team, you just have people say, oh, I'm a bug bounty hunter. I detect bugs. I write a report and then I get paid. But there isn't much. So, like, what's your take on this? Like, I don't want to say, I want to use the word, I don't know, like difference between red and blue team. And where do you think most people who are starting their career right now in cybersecurity as students are going wrong in, like, picking a side to start with?
Uh, okay, it seems like it is very simple question, but it is damn difficult question you asked right now. When it comes to, I will definitely I will share my knowledge or wisdom, whatever it is, with that differentiation or distinction between that red and blue, right? I will definitely come to that, but I am not. I don't find I'm not find I don't find myself in a position to give advice to the folks who's listening this podcast right now, just to how you can set your career, because I'm just starting out my career. Okay, so uh, let's I will come back to that later. Let's focus on red versus blue. Is it fine?
Sure.
Yeah. So Ishan, before jumping into that red blue shift, we need to speak about business. Okay, so business in terms of size. So, for example, there are MNCs, there are small scale businesses, right? So the
Right.
MNCs information, it's all about, before directly going to cybersecurity, you have to remember one important, very important one, important point. It's IT. It's information technology. It's not cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is,
Hmm.
it's a part of IT.
It's a part of IT, correct?
It's part of IT. So we need to, if you know shit about IT, then you are never going to become a cybersecurity professional. So first of all, we need to focus on IT. So when it comes to IT, there will be like multiple strata of people working in different diverse groups. Okay,
Hmm.
so it is actually governed by the fact that how big or how small the company is. For example, if we take a close look into a startup ecosystem, okay, let's say I'm working in a startup. So they will be focusing more on their business rather than investing millions of dollars or INR in security. Why? Because they are just starting out, right? They're just
Right.
they're just uh, uh, you know uh, come into this business environment, and they're just taking part in this business transaction and all those stuff kind of stuff. So their priority will be like
Building a
more
product.
exactly building a product or services, anything like that. But that won't be the case of someone who is actually a already well established, for say, let's say you're working in Accenture or in TCS or Cognizant. They
Hmm.
will have a better team, IT team, right? IT infrastructure. So if you have an IT infrastructure, then the security is very important. If you have a well developed IT team, then the security will be a natural thing to set to be deployed, or to be remain in in the spotlight, right?
Right.
So again, if you zoom into that security aspect, there will be like multiple layers of security based on the business. For
Hmm.
example, there will be system administrator. So the security should be set in place to protect their information systems, right? It can be person, it can be mainly it will be data and computer systems, right? So
Right.
based on this, this tier, there will be system administrators to secure their host, secure their server, right? There will
Right.
be network admins to look after their network. There will be IAM. I'm not sure you're aware of IAM. Have you ever heard of IAM before?
Hmm. I have heard of sysadmins. I've never heard of IAM before.
So IAM is identity access management. So identity access management is a little bit sophisticated, a little bit more fine grained security mechanisms set in place in almost all the big companies. So all these people
Okay.
doing their job. These are the blue team. I am talking about blue team. So these people actually form the blue team. The system admins, the IT people, the this entire thing can be grouped or named as IT people or IT folks. So these
Right.
people will be, in charge of monitoring the network traffic, configuring their firewalls, updating their software systems, uh, doing vulnerability management, setting up this EDR points, IDPS, IDPS, right? In intrusion detection
Right. I
system,
do.
in intrusion, yeah, IDPS. Now it's called IDPS because detection and prevention, right? So all these people doing their job, these are the blue people. So I assume you now have a basic understanding, right, of what blue team means, right?
Right.
This forms the entire blue team. Now let's say about the people who are trying to get into these systems. They are the bad people. Okay, these are the adversaries. In its technical form, we can say adversaries. So these are the threat actors who are actually trying to compromise the integrity, confidentiality, and availability of the system. This is called a CIA triad, right? Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So
Hmm.
these people will try their level best to break all these security mechanisms to steal the data, to exfiltrate the data out of the company network, right?
Okay.
So the these people are actually the real black hats. So the red team actually will have a professionals who are actually posing as a bad guys working for a company. Okay, so let's
Right.
say I'm a pen tester, or I'm a penetration tester. I have obtained the consent from a company, and I have given all the green light to do the engagement. Engagement means the penetration test. Then I am acting as
Okay.
a bad guy, right?
Right.
So the red means these people who are actually acting as a bad guys. So these are the people who hack into other systems, or the network system or host systems, we can say, right? So this is the generalized meaning of red team. But when it comes to security, the red team, the meaning of the red team, it changes, slightly, because uh, basically there is penetration testing,
Mm-hmm.
vulnerability management, and third is red teaming. So in that context, red teaming is actually like a simulation. So sorry, we will simulate advanced sophisticated attacks, done by the APT groups. APT means advanced persistent threats. Okay, so these guys are actually special group of people who uh, target such organization with consent, obviously, to attack their organization, and they will try to stay within their network, for a longer period of time. This is exactly what red teaming in the context of penetration testing. Okay, because in interviews most of the people get usually asked about a difference between, they will ask this question, difference between penetration testing and red teaming. So in that context, red teaming will differ slightly. So initially, what I said, it's actually like a holistic a definition, the generalized definition for the red and blue. I hope it clarifies, right?
It does. I mean, it really clarifies a lot of things most people had no idea about because they just hear the terms from the on the surface. Like they don't get to understand exactly what those terms mean. So thank you for explaining it to us in a simple language. I mean,
Definitely, definitely.
yeah, it really helped me clear a lot of my concepts. I mean, I was so confused over there. That was pretty cool. So,
Let's.
all right,
Yeah, there is.
uh,
Sorry, I need to add one more thing. Lots and lots of companies, they introduce new big words, just to promote their business. So red teaming now, it's also called adversarial simulation and those kind of stuff.
what?
Advert
Adversarial
simulation.
simulation. What does
Exactly,
that mean?
adversarial simulation. It means red teaming. That's all.
Okay. So basically, they're trying to use this to, they're trying to focus on the marketing point of view to like
Exactly.
make it more some, I mean, try and introduce something new,
Yes, trying to introduce something new which is not actually new.
repurposing and repackaging.
Yeah, it's just a marketing mantra of so many big guys. That's all. So I just wanted to add that,
Hmm.
as a point. That's all.
Wow. I mean, like they can, yeah, they can do whatever they want. They're big.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So, if I were to talk to you about like, okay, so you learned cybersecurity in college, like from professors, or you learned most of it yourself? Are you a self-taught cybersecurity guy, or somebody in school taught you?
I will be very interested, to know which school teaches cybersecurity. Can you say?
No, I mean I mean, I don't know. I mean, there are. I mean, I've had guests who have had who've taken their B and B Tech in cybersecurity. They've switched from CS to cybersecurity, and they have professors who act like mentors and they guide them, but not as like, not at the volume at which, let's say, we are taught mathematics, or at the level at which most teachers today teach us data structures, right? Again, like you're saying, like I don't think there's a lot of teachers around because it is quite relatively new to us as, I mean, if you talk about us as a nation, it is relatively new to us. Like even machine learning and artificial intelligence, it is fairly new. I mean, nobody's going to teach you machine learning at the level at which they would teach you mathematics instead in school, right? Because there's so much knowledge around it. Like there's been a lot of work behind mathematics, and I just think like it's fairly new to us in India, and I really think we have a long way to go in terms of like um getting it to a level on which we can like completely rely on a school to give us the information we need and the correct education.
Ishan, my philosophy is you cannot rely on anybody else other than yourself. You get me?
Right,
So it's all about being a book smart or being a street smart. No school, no degree can teach you cybersecurity. Of course, it can give you like a little hand holding, right? But it
right,
won't give you the complete picture. So I'm not cussing at the people, who took MTech, or who took their higher studies, especially followed their higher studies, or who specialized in cybersecurity in from colleges, or from
right,
just
of course.
I'm just talking about the degree value. Okay, so that is just a paper. You are not definitely going to get. Okay, I will tell you one thing. If you are going to spend a lot of money in cybersecurity, in order to pursue cybersecurity as something, for your higher studies, then it's waste. It's totally waste. You can, uh, given 2 years, if you invest that kind of money in certifications and hack the box, try hack me, you will definitely beat a man, or definitely beat someone who is actually who is having a degree in cybersecurity. You get me, right?
Right,
So you cannot rely on academia, or you cannot rely on anybody other than yourself. You need to have a that self reliance, right? You
right,
don't have to teach everything. It's called self taught. All the good guys, they are self taught. Even let's just leave the cybersecurity. After, here in India we can see a lot of people. I don't know, it's mainly because most of the Indians are coming from middle class, right? So they want to change their lifestyle, right? Obviously there is no,
right.
there is no, we cannot complain that it's always good, right?
Hmm.
uh, they will opt for engineering from IIT, right?
Right,
They will get placed at one MNC. I don't think it is actually what gained from college, that makes them to, pursue, go further in their career. It's their learning approach, right?
Right.
Even if you join a company, trust me, you are going to see a lot of shit. Okay, it's not like you are, completely going to see exactly what you have seen, in the classrooms. Don't expect that. So it's already and always there is a learning cycle you need to do even after
Hmm.
completing the college, right? So there is, in a nutshell, I can say, without dragging this for too long, this question I can answer: no, college is never going to help you in any way in any field of your choice. It's you who needs to help yourself.
Right. So Anand, if you like, how open are you about how what can you talk about your experience in the industry? Like, well, what's your experience been in working in the industry so far? I know you're quite you've just started, like you've just like you're not exactly what like you don't have like 25 years of IT experience, but you're definitely starting out. And how do you feel about working in the industry and the company so far?
It's superb, dude. It's superb. Like I am almost finishing my 1 year, currently in my current company. So it totally depends on, where you are working, to whom you are working for, right? So
Right.
for me, it was actually really a blessing because it's like a destiny. Okay, I happen to get a super cool manager, uh, super cool teammates, and we are just a startup. We have employees like around 100 or just closely 100. So we are just a startup. So in a startup, if you work in a startup, the main advantage is you are more flexible to experiment with yourself, right? So
Right.
you can do whatever you want, given it should, in the end of the day, like it needs to align with the business objectives of the company, right?
Right.
So uh, you know i have I have had many super cool you know exposure to so many things, and I have had worked on so many cool projects as well. And we have been able to uh, showcase that result, output those results. And yeah, I'm pretty damn happy actually, especially the work culture here at my company. It's super cool. We have a chill team. The number of people in a team is very low, so very less. So that also again, it's a added advantage because you will start having bond, right? So that's actually the
Right.
main. It's not technical knowledge or brain functionality. I always give importance to emotion. Okay, I'm not saying IQ is not important, but I'm always a type of guy who favors EQ over IQ. Got it? So
Right.
if you have a strong people, if you are a people person, if you have social skills, if you have a good team, then it will boost your productivity. So for me, so far it is so good. So the industry experience is so good. I have been able to pull off so many amazing team, of course with the help of my team and my manager. And we actually work. It's because of passion. Just I am reiterating what I have already told you, right?
Right.
I have, trust me, recently my team actually, where like my team was working day and night to find a solution, for a problem. Even we were actually having calls, late night calls. We will just sit in front of the system and we will have, just like this, we will solve the issue, we will find out a solution. And sometimes it even went for like 6 a.m. in the morning,
Hmm.
continuously, sitting
6
at
a.m.
a
in,
stretch.
wait, you so basically you have like night duty. You work all night.
No. We don't have a shift kind of. We don't have any shifts. We actually, work overtime because of the, this
Okay.
interest, and that's what I'm talking about, Ishan. If you have fire, then you won't look, you won't look at the clock.
Hmm.
Why are you looking at the clock? Because either you are getting tired or you are bored at what you are doing, right?
Right.
So my team, I know my team, we sat in front of the system for 7 to 8 or even 10 hours,
Hmm.
like at a stretch to find out a solution. So that's actually the passion. If you lack passion, then I don't think you will ever achieve your greatness. So yeah, in a nutshell, I can say my experience in the industry is super cool, super awesome so far.
Hmm. That's pretty cool, man. All
Yeah.
right. So again, like you're more of a cyber threat analyst than a consultant, right? You're an analyst, not a consultant.
No. I'm only an analyst right now, as of now,
Okay.
actually.
All right. So I think like again, when I was first stumbling across, like I mean, although the words literally mean different, I still had like a hard time differentiating between a cyber analyst and a cyber consultant. So if you could give our viewers a brief understanding on what's the difference between analyst and a consultant, what would you
Bro,
tell
it's
them?
very easy. Consultant, they will be directly interacting with the client. They will be directly talking. Let's say you are a company. Okay, Ishan, you have a company and you have a problem.
Hmm.
You have approached me for in order to find out a solution for your problem. So I will be the consultant. I will be providing the solution for your problem. Got it?
Right.
Analyst, they are the real working horses of the company. This analyst will be working under the consultants, and again it depends on the company. You cannot you need you cannot completely say in all of the companies it will be like this. I'm just saying, analyst will be the people who analyzes and do their work, and they will report back to the manager. So this manager can be a consultant. Okay. So they
Okay.
will do their work and they will share the result to consultant, so that you are actually making the life of consultant a little bit more easier. Getting me?
Hmm. Yes, I
Again,
do.
don't. Okay, again, there is another thing. Don't fall for these titles. Okay. It again depends on the company you are working for. Some companies directly take consultants. Okay. Directly take you and, give you a tag called consultant. I know that such companies. There will be like other companies who actually get you and give you analyst tag. But definitely, if you're a consultant, then you are supposed to be interacting with clients. Analysts won't they won't directly interact with the client. That's the core difference, actually, from my
Hmm.
experience. I can say, yeah.
Right. So that was that was pretty good. That was a pretty good clearance, man. Hmm. So it's been an hour. I think we're close to wrapping this up. Um, if what advice would you give to anybody who's just starting in cybersecurity right now? Like, what would you tell them?
Mm, okay, before coming to cybersec, you need to have a slide, you need to get a slight taste of IT or application, software
Hmm.
engineering. So you need to, otherwise it will, I know it was not easy for me to crunch all the knowledge, all the stuff overnight, and that didn't happen. I
Mhm.
actually sacrificed a lot of things. My school, I was actually totally a loser when it comes to mark. Okay, because I didn't pay any attention to school at all. I was, I will come back from school. I will just sit in front of my system, coding, typing, blah blah blah. Did all my stuff. So at the cost of good grades. I never had any good grades in 12th standard, actually. Okay, because it's not because I lacked resources or the ability to good score good mark. It's mainly because I didn't find it useful any at that time. So if you are ready to sacrifice all those things, you can invest all those time in understanding a lot of basic things in computer science, in computer science
Mm-hmm.
and IT. So you need to know the basics, especially application and network. You need to know the working of the network. You need to know how the application, you need to have a development background. Okay. So then only you can easily transition to cybersecurity without any difficulty.
Okay.
So the next thing, obviously someone will come and ask, then how did I get started in this thing. So again, I am reiterating, I have invested a lot of time, like a hell lot of time. Like if I look back and think about the time, it's almost like 8 to 10 years. I have been consistently in touch with lots of many ideas and concepts. I have been learning a lot. You can see a bookshelf right behind me, right?
I can. That's a lot of books. They're all
So
on net.
that's they are all network or application related books, and you cannot see I have a shelf over here full of hacking books. So it's a hell lot of time. You need to invest a lot of time in reading, research, and all those kind of stuff.
Wow. Okay. So you spoke about like not getting good marks in school. I mean, if you were to go back, would you have, what would you tell yourself if you were to go back to 12th grade? What message would you like to give to your 12th grade self?
You have done right.
You have done right. Wow. So so basically no regrets.
No regrets, yeah. I'm no regrets at all because I happen to meet a lot of brilliant people. My team, I am really, I love my team. So if I had it been for that, the love for the security, I would have gone to I would have gone to something else totally. You getting,
Hmm.
you getting me, right? you
Right.
you know what I'm saying. So exactly, I don't have any regrets at all because uh, it's not about marks, Ishan. It's about effort. I
Hmm.
have put a lot of effort, to reach here. It's not that for me it was not very easy, smooth sailing. It's all about effort. So if you have that kind of mindset to sacrifice a lot of things, for a good cause, then definitely it will help you a lot.
Hmm. All right, that was a pretty good episode, man. So I think we'll just wrap this up with just one last just one thing you would like to share with the entire audience, not just anybody who's starting, like one message you want to leave the audience with today.
uh, be happy. It's very difficult to be happy. It's very difficult thing. I have experienced it myself. So be happy. Love what you do. If something is not your cup of tea, then have the courage to leave that and start new. Never fear of failure. Never
Okay,
fear of failure. That will be like my message to everybody in this world right now.
great. Thank you very much, Anand. It was a really wonderful episode with you, man. I really liked having this conversation with you, and I really think my audience is gonna enjoy this. I really think everybody's gonna like this, like listening to everything that we just spoke about. Thank you very much for being on my show. It really means a lot to me.
Likewise, Ishan. So I'm very grateful, grateful. I find this as a very, ideal platform to share my thoughts, share my stories actually with you and, your audience. So it was wonderful. It was wonderful. Likewise, yeah.
Right, great. Thank you very much for being on my show, man.